Hello students, I'm Dr. Neema Gupta. My today's topic is factors affecting industrial relations. In my previous lecture, I taught you about the meaning and the features of industrial relations. In this lecture, I just want to give brief introduction about my previous lecture in 2 or 3 lines, right? So, industrial relation is the relation which exists between the employer and the employees. Basically, there are two types of industrial relations in the organization. Number one is individual industrial relations, and number two is collective industrial relations. Individual industrial relation is the relation which exists between employer and the employees only. And collective industrial relation is the relation which exists between employer, employees, and the role of government, which protect the interests of both the parties, right? Next is the features of industrial relations. There are various features. It involves two parties, but obvious without these two parties, the industrial relations cannot exist. Number one, employer and the employees. There are several parties involved in the industrial relations, but three parties are the very main and important parties in industrial relation. Number one is employer and its association, employees, its association, that is trade union, and the role of government in the form of labor court or tribunals, right? Now we come to the today's topic, that is factors affecting industrial relations. The first factor that affects the industrial relation, that is individual behavior. As we all know that every individual in the organization is different from other individual, right? And they are different in terms of skills, knowledge, experience, achievements, background, that is family background, educational background, right? And because of these differences, they behave differently in the different situations. So their differences in the behavior in the different situations sometimes impact the industrial relations in the organizations, right? So this is the main factor which impact or affect the industrial relations between the employer and the employees. Second one is organizational structure. The structure of the organization is defined in terms of the authority and the responsibility relationship. Obviously, the superior will have higher authority than the subordinates, right? Sometimes when the superior exercises too much power or authority over the subordinates, it just deteriorate, or it just make disbalance, or just reduces the harmonious relationship between the employer and the employees, right? So sometimes too much exercise of command or power over the subordinates is not good for the harmonious relationship between the employer and the employees. Next is psychological factors. Psychological factors here means an employee's attitude or mentality towards the employer and the task which is assigned to him, right? Means how does he perceive the task, or the how does he perceive organization's rules and regulations, policies, and how does he see his boss, right? And the employer psychology towards the workers, right? Whether the workers are laborious hard worker or not, right? So maybe positive or negative. If the psychology is positive, definitely there will be a harmonious relationship between the labor and the management. If it is negative, then it will impact the relationship in the industry between the employer and the employees. Next is leadership style. Every leader is having different styles, right? Some are having autocratic leadership style, some are having participative, some are having free rein leadership style. Leader having autocratic leadership style, they exercise too much power, or they exercise command over the subordinates. So, and they do not give chance to the subordinate to participate in decision making process and all. And leaders, those who are too much liberal, also make the employees lazy, right? So both type of leadership style is not appropriate in the organizations. If the leader is too much liberal, or if the leader is too much strict, right? So such kind of leadership style affect or impact the harmonious relationship between the leader and the subordinates in the organizations. Next is economic and technical environment, right? To cope up with the changes in the economic condition or technological conditions, right? Like if the technology changes in the organization, then organization need to adapt the advance or change technology, right? So in this case, when the organization adopts the advanced technology or the change technology which is desired by the business environment, right? So employees sometimes they resist. You know why? The reason behind, they are having a feeling of fear that they may lose their job, right? So in this case, it also impact the relationship between the employer and the employees in the organizations. Next is legal and political environment also affect the relationship between the employer and employees. Government enacts some rules and regulations, some laws in order to protect the interests of the employees as well as the employer, right? Sometimes the employer, they do not feel good exercising or executing or implementing the rules and regulations enacted by the government, because they are sometimes not in the favor of employer. So in this case, the rules and regulations which are not in the favor of employer, the employer sometimes do not implement over the employees. So this thing also creates a problem, or also disturbs the harmonious relationship between the employer and the employees in the organization. Next point is topic is parties involved in industrial relation. Basically, there are two parties which are involved in industrial relation. Number one is primary parties and other parties. Primary parties are those parties, or the person of the primary parties are those which are having close association with the industrial relations, right? Number one is employees. Employees are the people, those who work under the supervision and guidance of the employer, the people who provide their services to the organizations, right? And they are very important assets of the organizations. So there are some reasons for which the employees find maintaining sound industrial relations to be useful for them. Number one is sharing their views, suggestions, ideas with the management to improve the business operations. Number two is becoming a part of the organizational decision making and ensuring the betterment of the working condition. Sometimes employees want to participate in decision making process, and for that they want to maintain good relationship with the employer. Okay. Next is speaking out their problems and grievances, seeking from the redressal for the same. Employees, they also maintain good relationship with the employee in order to resolve their grievances. Grievances are what? A feeling of dissatisfaction which arises out of and in course of employment, right? And it's redressal also. So in order to maintain the good, in order to resolve the dispute or the conflict, the employee is required to maintain good relationship with the employer. Next party is employer. Employers are responsible for providing favorable working condition to the employees, and they have many rights and powers, like laying off inefficient employees, right? Laying off means temporary, they just terminate the services of the employees, right? Taking strategic decisions such as mergers, acquisitions, or shutdown of the organization, and adapting technological changes in the organization. So following are the reasons which manager can benefit from the sound industrial relation in the organization. Number one is motivating the employees to give their best and gaining their trust and commitment. If the employer motivate the employees, the employer becomes able to enhance the productivity of organization, because the motivated employees, they give their 100% to the organizations. Next is improving the overall efficiency and ensuring effective communication among the employees and the management. By motivating the employees, the employees gives the 100% efficiency to the organizations, right? Third is dealing with problems of trade union along with the negotiation of employment terms and conditions with such employee representative. In this case, the employer also deals with the trade union in collective bargaining process, right? uh, Next is government. Before the 19th century, there was no interruption from the government side to resolve the dispute which occurs between the employer and the employees. But later on, there was a change in the attitude of the government of bodies, like they started regulating the industrial relations through labor code and tribunals, right? So there are following reasons of the interruption of the government. Number one is safeguarding the interests of both the parties. Both the parties means employer and the employees, right? Ensuring that both the employer and the employees bound by the legal terms and conditions, means the decision which is given by the labor court or the tribunals, right? That decision binds both the parties, right? and by giving the decisions, right, both party get agree, right, and by doing this the government maintain the good relationship between the employer and the employees. There are other parties. Number one is employers association, that is board of director. It is also formed to protect the interests of the industrial owners, right. It performs the various functions to safeguard the right of the employer. Number one, it acts as a representative in the collective bargaining process, right. Number two is creating a proper mechanism to resolve the industrial dispute. It establishes the industrial dispute machinery, right, and it also establishes the mechanism to resolve the industrial dispute which occurs between the employer and the employees. Next is giving an insight into the employees relation in an organization, providing suggestions accordingly. It sometimes also provides suggestions to the employer to resolve the dispute. Next is trade union. Trade union is the association of the workers, and the job of the trade union is to protect the interests of the workers, right. So there are some objective of trade union. Number one is negotiating collectively with the administration for meeting the individual interests of an employee. In case of decision making process, right, the representative of the trade union, they also give their views or ideas, right. In collective bargaining process they also give their suggestions, right, for the benefit of the employees. Next is upgrading the status of the employees in the organization. Next is demanding better working condition, higher job security for the workers. It also demands better working condition for the worker and job security also. Next, safeguarding the interests of the employees by demanding a higher level of democratic control over the decision making at the organizational, corporate and national level, right. By putting pressure over the employer or the management, they also invite in the decision making process, so that the management cannot take the decision in their own benefit, right. The benefit of the employees can also be considered in case of decision making process. Government also interrupts to resolve the dispute in the form of courts and tribunals, right. These courts and tribunals play a very important role to settle the dispute which occurs between the two parties, that is employer and the employees, by giving the decision which binds both the parties. International Labour Organization, it is an association which was formed under the name of International Labour Organization in the year 1919 to set up international norms and standards for dealing with the industrial disputes and issues of the workers, right. Simultaneously, an international labor code was set up to look into the matters like workers' compensation, that is minimum wages, whether the employer is giving minimum wages to the employees or not, whether the employer is exploiting, right, by not giving the minimum wages to the employees. Next, employees work duration, number of holidays. It also checks the work duration of the employees, means how much what is the working hours of the employees and how much they are working.